Alright guys, just letting you know, I'm going to be doing two parts to this video. This first video is going to be me explaining what happened in this game. The second part is going to be Art explaining what it was like at that game, because Art actually went to that game because he's a Seahawks fan and he watched the whole thing go down. So he's going to be explaining his reaction at that game and explaining what it was like in the next video. And now, on to the video. December 19th, 1999. Broncos versus Seahawks. This NFL game is just like any other regular season game. But little did the people watching at home know that this was going to be one of the best games they were ever going to see. But first, a little bit of context. The Seahawks were really good this season. Before coming into this game, they were 8-5. And the Chiefs, well, they're also 8-5. Both of them are fighting for the division title. Then on December 18th, 1999, on Saturday Night Football, the Chiefs won against the Steelers, putting them at 9-5. So coming into this game, the Seahawks have to win this game if they want to keep up with the Chiefs. And as for the Broncos, well, they're 4-9. And they're just trying to win their last 3 games of the season. And now that you have that in mind, let's start the game. Jason Elam kicks the ball to Charlie Rogers to start this game. Charlie Rogers then returns it for a 17-yard gain. The Seahawks' first possession of the game did not go so well. They went 3 and out, leading Jeff Fugels to punt the ball. Chris Watson was the returner. He caught the ball and ended up taking it 81 yards to the house. Seattle did not like this, and Ricky Watters responded with a 22-yard gain. Later that drive, John Kinna connected with Mike Pritchard for the touchdown. Then the Broncos got the ball back. The Broncos drove down the field, and Brian Gracie connected with Rod Smith for the touchdown. Then the first quarter ended. 4 minutes into the second quarter, it was Denver's ball. Brian Gracie then threw the ball into the end zone, and it was intercepted by Sean Springs. Now it was Seahawks ball. As the Seahawks were trying to make something out of their turnover, John Kinna got sacked, which caused him to fumble the ball. It was picked up by Al Wilson, giving the Broncos the ball back. Then the Broncos were trying to make something out of their turnover, and they did. The Broncos drove down the field, and Jason Elam was able to make the easy field goal, giving the Broncos a 17-7 lead. Then the Seahawks got the ball back. The Seahawks drove down the field, and on 3rd and goal, Ricky Watters punched it in for the touchdown. Before the half with 9 seconds left, Jason Elam attempted a 64-yard field goal. Jason Elam kicked the ball, and it came up short of the goal line. Sean Springs returned the ball out of bounds, resulting in halftime. After halftime, it was Broncos ball. The Broncos were able to drive far enough with their first ever drive of the half, leading Jason Elam to make an easy 46-yard field goal. Then the Seahawks, with their first possession, were able to drive down the field, leading Todd Peterson to make an easy field goal. Now, I don't have footage of it because for some reason they won't show the field goal. But anyways, now the Seahawks are trailing by 3. Then the Broncos got the ball back, and they responded by driving down the field, and Jason Elam punched a 33-yard field goal, giving the Broncos a 23-17 lead. Then the Seahawks got the ball back, but they couldn't do anything with their drive, so they had to punt the ball. Then the Broncos got the ball back, and Jason Elam had another chance to make another field goal. Jason Elam kicked the ball for a 45-yard field goal, and he missed it, pulled it right. Then the Seahawks got the ball back, but they once again couldn't do anything with their drive, so they had to punt the ball. The Broncos got the ball back, and Brian Gracie threw an interception to Willie Williams. Then the Seahawks were trying to make something out of their turnover, and they did. Todd Peterson was able to make an easy 32-yard field goal. Then the Seahawks punted the ball, and it was Broncos' ball. And on the very first play of the Broncos' drive, Alandis Gary got a 60-yard run. Then the Broncos capitalized after the run. Ryan Greasy threw the ball to his tight end Dwayne Carswell, and he punched it in for the touchdown. Then, after the touchdown, Ian Eagle, the announcer for this game, said this:
"The Denver Broncos have put this one away."
And you are never going to believe what happened when the Seahawks got the ball back.
John Kitna, with 1:44 left. He will throw it. Reggie Brown the catch, trying to get to the sideline, unable to do so. To work quickly with 1:26 and counting. On a 2nd and 2. Kitna has the first down. It's Fourier. And he's tackled at the 36-yard line. On first down, Kitna has the protection. Will throw into coverage. To the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Derek Mays. You wanted a quick score? You've got a quick score.
Yep, that's right. It took the Seahawks only 46 seconds and only 3 plays to get into the end zone. Now you think that's crazy? Watch what happens next.
They'll have a chance to possibly win this game if Todd Peterson can put an onside kick that somehow ends up in the arms of Seattle special teamers. Angle it off. Takes a bounce. Caught by a Seahawk. Kerry Joseph brought it in. Did the ball go far enough? Yes, it did. The Seahawks have the football. Wow!
I mean, come on. It doesn't get better than this. The ball clearly went 10 yards, making it a clear recovery for the Seahawks. Now it's Seahawks ball. Then the Seahawks tried to score a touchdown to end the game, but they were not successful. So, Todd Pearson had to try a 45-yard field goal. Todd Pearson kicks the ball, and it is good. Broncos and Seahawks are going into overtime. The Broncos won the coin toss, and the Broncos got the ball. But the Broncos couldn't do anything with their drive, so they had to punt the ball to the Seahawks. Then the Seahawks were trying to make something out of their drive, and they were. But you are never going to believe what happened during the Seahawks drive.
Seattle's first possession of overtime. On the move, Kitna throwing. He's got Galloway. Incomplete. He was wide open. If John Kitna puts it on Galloway's numbers, the Seattle Seahawks are going home with an OT win.
That's right. John Kitna overthrew Galloway for the easy walk-off touchdown, but he overthrew him. It was just right there. That was the game. That was it. That was the game right there. Now I keep saying this, but you are never going to believe what happened on the very next play.
5 receivers. Here's Kitna on a rush. He loses the football. Fighting for it. Scooped up. Glenn Cadrez. He'll run it in for the score. Denver wins. In one of the wildest finishes that you will see, the Broncos have pulled this one off in overtime.
On the very next play, Ray Crockett strip-sacked John Kitna. The Broncos recovered the ball, and they were able to take it in for the walk-off touchdown, letting them win the game 36-30 in one of the wildest finishes you'll ever see. Now, you're probably wondering, what happened to the Seahawks after this game? Well, the Seahawks won against the Chiefs, then they lost to the Jets, then the Chiefs lost to the Seahawks, and then they lost against the Raiders, making the Seahawks win the AFC West. So yeah, then the Seahawks went to the playoffs where they lost to the Miami Dolphins. Now as for the Broncos, they did pretty well, and they ended up at the bottom of the division. So anyways, I hope you liked the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in part 2.
Bye.